Hello, my name is Dave Burke. I'm a realtor with Exit Realty in the Bitterroot Valley in Montana. And the purpose for this video is my monthly interpretation of the market charts and graphs produced by Realtor Property Resources, which is our local multiple listing service agency. And they do sort of a market analysis on what's happening in our residential area here in the Bitterroot Valley, and that's what I'm going to cover right now. Okay, I want to make a statement here right at the beginning that all of my comments are strictly my interpretation of these charts and has no reflection on MLS, Exit Realty, or anybody else. So this is how I see the whole market. So on this first chart, market trends is a summary of the following charts that I'll be discussing, but you can see at the top, there's a slide bar with a little triangle, and that would indicate that right now at the end of March and beginning of February 2025, that we're still in somewhat of a seller's market. And in my opinion, the little triangle is slowly moving to the right. And depending what happens with interest rates and so on in 2025, we could easily slide into a buyer's market. But right now, you can see that there are 66 median days on the market. Median sold price is 550,000, and we now have 3.64 months of inventory, which I'll discuss in a few moments. This actually is a screenshot from the RPR website, and the comments are my own. This next chart is the detail on the month's supply of listings as far as inventory goes. This goes back to February of 2020, but you can see over the last 6 months that inventory or months of inventory has been reduced from 6.25 months 6 months ago to 3.64 months of inventory currently. And generally, I would say that with the inventory being reduced with reduced supply, you would think that prices would be going up with reduced supply. But in light of the fact that the total market trend appears to be down, it could be that maybe people are just not willing to list their properties right now until they get a better idea what's going to happen in the market. So I guess you could say that could go either way, but in my opinion, I would say that probably people are holding their fire a little bit and wait to see what's going to happen with interest rates to see if this summer things may take off and we may see a rise in inventory as more people decide to list. This next chart I want to talk about gives us the median estimated value of properties in the Bitterroot Valley from July '08 to present. And you can see the prices have been going up. And the current price at the end of 2024 was 536,000. RPR estimates these values from publicly available records on closings and listings and things they come up with that's part of the total MLS database. I think one thing you'll find that since there are in Ravalli County, there's really not that many residential properties that make up these charts and graphs, maybe between 100 and 150 properties. So any one big property can swing the averages drastically one way or the other, which is why the charts can be so choppy. But I think you'll find that as we go through the following charts, that the closer a property gets to actual closing and being a sold property, the prices tend to reflect reality more accurately. So again, you can see at this point, at the end of 2024, properties, the median estimated value is 536,000. Remember, that's not the average. The median only means that there's an equal number of properties above the line as below the line. So could be more pricey properties above the line or below the line. So it's hard to say, but don't confuse the median with the average. In this next chart, we show active listings, which only include 174 properties, single-family properties in the Bitterroot Valley. And you can see that back in October of 2021, prices peaked out at 910,000. I think that was just before COVID hit. Then it collapsed down into August of 22. And since then, we've had an uptrend of 2.5 years to the point where we're now at $799,500. Again, I want to note that these are list prices and not closed or sold prices. And you'll see over the next couple of charts that the closer we get to a sold price, the more realistic these prices become in the active listing category. This next chart is that of new listings. And you can see in this chart, there's only 46 properties in the database. And the median list price of $696,950 is about $100,000 lower than that chart we just looked at, which are existing listings. And my interpretation of this is that as new people come into the market, they see that the price pressure is somewhat in the downward direction. So the new listings are being priced a little lower than the ones that have been on the market for a while, because those previous ones have been on the market on an average 132 days. And these new listings are basically just a couple of days old. So you can see here also that from 2021 to current, the price trend has been, even though it's been up and down all over the board, overall it's been pretty much unchanged for the last 3 years. So that would indicate to me that we're in a stable market, even if it is a little bit of a downtrend. This chart is for pending listings, which are basically listings that have been sold and are under contract, I should say. And note that there's just been a very slight downtrend over the last 3 years. Started out back in March of 22 at $700,000, and now we're down to $639,000. And this sort of correlates my price trend from existing listings to new listings, now to pending listings. You can see as we get closer and closer to reality, the prices are dropping a little bit. I think what I want to note here is that a couple of months ago, we had bottomed out at $500,000. There's been a 28% uptick since February to 639,000. And you can see that if we continue the trend up to what I call the inflection point, which is where the current trend would intersect with the downward trend, we can see that there may be a point where if the market is changing, it'll continue up, or if it hits that, let's call it resistance, it might retreat then and drop. So that's sort of like the way they look at stocks. There's a resistance point. But anyway, as we get closer to closing, the more accurate the prices become. And notice, again, there's only 55 properties in this database, and price is $639,000. The last chart I'm going to refer to are sold listings. You can see that we're at 550,000. There's only 31 properties in the database. And this is, again, sold listings. So if you go back to current listings to then pending listings and now to sold listings, you can see we dropped a couple of $100,000 between what listings would be, let's call them wishful thinking, as opposed to what actual sold listings entail. Back in March of 2022, you can see we're at 700,000 median. Then it's been about a 3-year downward trend, and where we end up at 550,000. You can see a couple of months ago we were at 450,000. There's been a little bit of an uptick in the last month or two, 28% to be exact, or 22% to be exact. And if you were to project this trend up to what I call the inflection point, we would have to find out if then the prices would retreat as in line with sort of the overall market value trend, or if they would exceed past that, indicating maybe a new positive direction in the market. So that concludes my analysis of the February-March 2025 property trends. Hope it was interesting. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to working with you on your property if you choose to list or sell your property with me. Thank you.